speech in China will go to the jail tonight. They will go to the jail tonight. You know, in China, we don't have the freedom of speech. We don't have the freedom of the publication. You know, a lot of the you buy made in China products, you buy made in China shirts, you buy made in China clothes, but those clothes was made in prison. A lot of the normal people, innocent people, were put in prison. They work for government free. More terrible is a lot of the young people, their organ was taken away and sold to the people who need organ transplant. They are not only suffering, the Chinese people is not only suffering the slave labor, they suffering from the organ harvest. Organ harvest is very terrible. The Communist Party treat the Chinese people like animals. They do not treat the people like people. They treat people like animals. They use your labor and they use your organ. That is a secret business of the Chinese policeman. It's very terrible, very terrible. Today, you pay less for made in China products. Tomorrow, you will pay your price. What's your price? Your price is your freedom and your democracy. Your children and your grandchildren will become the slave of the Communist Party in the futures. Chinese Communist Party use their power, this your cheap products, destroy your industry first, destroy your manufacturing capability first, and then they will destroy your democracy and freedom, will untably take over your government, and they will copy dictatorship and totalitarian regime to these countries, and they will put your children and your grandchildren into the prison. As Chinese people today, they are slave of the government. Communist Party, their strategy is destroy whole world manufacturing capability and untably take over whole world dominance. And they will put whole world, most of the peoples, whole world peoples, young people, put their prison, work for them free, like the freedom, like the slave. They take advantage of the 1.4 billion people. In China, we have the 1.4 billion peoples. Most of them is a slave of the government. Slave of the government. They take advantage of the Chinese people, and they use that power to destroy your industry, destroy your democracy, destroy your freedom. Communist Party is a minority in this world. They worry about their power every day. The first priority is to destroy and undermining the freedom and the democracy. Keep them safe. That's very terrible. Your children, your grandchildren will become slave of the Communist Party. Most of the Communist Party's money coming from the Western countries. The economy, Chinese Communist Party, the economy is exporting economy. They earn money from your pocket. The first priority for you must boycott made in China. Keep your industry alive. Yeah, keep your industry alive. Keep your choice. Keep your choice. That's keep your freedom. Save your democracy. Do not depend on the made in China. You keep your supply chain security. That's very important, critical for your next generation. Don't buy made in China. That's make you safe, make your children safe, make your grandchildren safe. You should understand this is very critical. In your countries, a lot of the industry already destroyed. Steel industry, textile industry, clothes industry, chemical industry already destroyed. You must make your industry survive, or you will lose your future. You will lose your future. Your children will become the slave of the Communist Party. That's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I talk about against the Communist Party. Talking the Communist Party. I'm against the Communist Party. Yeah. Take that. My party is a liberal Chinese liberal democracy party. We want to change our government. We want to overturn communist party, communist regime in China. Communist regime is a dictatorship. They are totalitarian. They are very evil. They treat Chinese people like animals. They put the innocent people, normal people, into the prison. They force the people work for government free. Made in China products, most of them is made in prison. Made in prison, they never pay the wage, never pay the salary to the people who working for the government. So that's why they are free. They are cheap because of they never pay the wage. They never pay the wage. You know, a lot of
Is your life in danger for speaking out? Yeah.
in UK I'm relatively safe. If I make a public speech in China, I will disappear, I'll be killed. In UK is relatively safe. In the UK there is a secret police station in China, of China in UK. They send spy, they send espionage staff, they send the policeman, undercover policeman, monitor every behavior of the Chinese people. So I'm still dangerous, but I don't care about that because too many people suffering too much. 3 million Muslim Uyghur people was put into the concentrate camp. They only arrest the young people. Why? Young people, they are more valuable is their organ. Their organ. They test the people who stay in the prison every month and match with some people they need organ transplant. If you are lucky, you match with some people, they send you to the hospital. When you are alive, they open your body, take your yes, you can take, yeah. They take your liver, they take your kidney, take your heart away when you live. Because that's when you live, your organ is more fresh, it's better.
It's all for money, is it?
Yes, that's more valuable than free labor, than slave labor. They treat people like animals. They take anything from your home. You take money from your bank account. They take your people, your children from your home and put in the prison. And they work for government free. And then they take the people's organ and then they sell to the people, rich people. They pay 1 million US dollar in China every day. 3 million Muslim people will put in concentrated camp. They spend 1 million pounds. They got 18 years, 20 years old kidneys. They got very young people's heart. This is no human rights in China. Totally no human rights in China. The Communist Party treats the people like the slave, like the animals. They take everything from your home. Take your everything. Take your money. Take your body. Take your children. Take your organs away. That's very terrible. Today, you buy made in China products. You're financing Communist Party. You're financing Communist Party. In the future, we'll pay your price. What's your price? Your price is your freedom and your democracy. Your children, your grandchildren will become slave of the Communist Party. Communist Party your children and your grandchildren will become slave of Communist Party. Yes, you are financing the Communist Party now because most of the Communist Party's money is coming from the UK, coming from the United States, coming from outside of China, because they exporting economy. All the money, most of the money is coming from your pocket. But Communist Party never focus on a little money from your pocket. They focus on your power, focus on your futures. They use cheap products, destroy your industry, destroy your manufacturing capability, and then they will take control of your countries, take control of your government power, and then they will copy dictatorship and the totalitarian regime to your countries, put your children. Yeah.
Do you think that the government, say, of Ireland and UK, do you think that they're aware of all this, and do you think that they're putting in place the steps to counteract what the Chinese are doing?
I tell that in the past 40 years, your politicians and your government make a big mistake. They use globalization. Chinese Communist Party take advantage of the globalization. They move a lot of the manufacturing capability to China. That's your mistake. Because of the capitalism, they want to get the cheap labor, cheap materials. They take advantage of this capitalist weak point, and they destroy your industry. And then this is a result of that catastrophic disaster result is you lose your independent industry independence. Further, you will lose your government independence. Yes, globalization is a disaster for Western countries.
What's I don't know, how are they going, what should, people be doing, or the government, to stop this?
First step, most of the Communist Party money is coming from your pocket. So first, you should boycott made in China. Make your industry survive. Even it's more expensive, but it save your children, save your country, save your futures. When the made in China Communist Party become the monopoly in this market, the made in China they won't cheap anymore. They will become very expensive, and they will take control of your government, take control of your life.
So many things that we rely on are made in China. Maybe we lose China.
Yeah, gradually, you must realize. Firstly, you must realize this is dangerous situation. You should understand the point, and then gradually boycott and quit the made in China products.
Do you think, Donald Trump is bringing in tariffs? Do you think he'll stick to the tariffs, and do you think they'll work if he brings them in against China?
Yes, Donald Trump is right. To be honest, 15 years before, I worked for the American company, the Timken company. They invested $400 million in China to set up this is bearing, the number one bearing and alloy steel manufacturing in the United States, bearing alloy steel. They invested $400 million in China to set up the most advantage under the best plant, and close the plant in the United States. They lose 10,000 people lose a job in the United States. But today, United States do not produce bearing anymore. They buy bearing from China. United States tank, United States aircraft, United States truck use the bearing made in China. If China stop supplying to the United States tank, what happened? If China and the United States have the war in Taiwan, China stop any supplying to the United States aircraft and bearing. What happened? They don't have the anything. That's right. Yes, that's right.
Physically,
Bearing.
they still have the
Like the
capability to
colonial
create this.
empire. That's America has grown wealthy and flourished through enslaving Africans and corrupt. So if someone's using the ban on them, so what?
Same.
They're very bad.
China go to the Africa. They need your oil. 70% of the metal minerals is coming from 70% of the Chinese Communist parties. Yeah, 17% of the oil is imported from outside of China. 20% coming from Africa. 20 or 30% come to Africa. Angola. Yes, Angola. South Africa. They take a lot of the minerals and oil. the investment money, they exchange your resources,
Copying the Europeans.
and they invest in the railway and the highways. They want to control of your countries. You know, you become the dependent country. Yeah.
They're replacing
I have
the
a question.
Europeans.
Why there is many Chinese people in the world? Everywhere, Chinese boys.
Only me is Chinese coming from. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Most of the Chinese people, you know, I tell you that Chinese people was under control of the secret policeman every day. Only in China they have the border control when you go out. When you go out China, they have the border control. They will check your visa, they check your passport while you go out. So China was totally under control and isolated with the other rest of the world. You know, in China we don't have the Google, we don't have the Facebook, we don't have the X, we don't have the Twitter, we don't have the TikTok. TikTok made in China was banned in China. TikTok banned in China. 1.4 billion people was isolated by Communist Party with all of the world. Isolate. Why they do that? They want to keep people foolish. They want to keep people silly. They want to keep people as a slave. They think that's not people. That's our property. That's our animals. They think the people is animals like dogs, like cats, like rats. They don't care about the people's feeling. They never give people the freedom of speech. They never give people freedom of publication.
Maybe they don't want to get invaded by the Europeans.
You are lucky. You live in this country. You are lucky. You know, a lot of the homeless in China, a lot of the disabled in China, they was poisoned and killed. Disabled people. Because they can't work, they cannot become a slave. Even if you cannot become a slave, even you don't have the right to survive, you know. They kill the people. They poison the people, you know. Because in the Communist Party regime, they think if you leave, you use the country's resource. So if you cannot work for government, you must die. A lot of the old people, over 65 years, 75 years, they get the pension is from the government. Old people, they poison old people. They steal pension. The pension is because if you live longer, you get more money from government.
So
They poison old people. Yeah, if you die, you don't get the pension. It's from the government, right? So in China, they say average age is 77 years old, right? Average age longevity is 77 years old, right? I tell you that in my life, I live in China for 40 years. Most of the people die before 70 years. 70, 65 years, 66 years, 60, 80 years, most of the people was die. You know, a lot of people before they retirement, they are healthy. They work very good. After retirement, they get pension from the government. Because they suddenly get a lot of disease.
Mercury poisoning or something.
No one knows what happened. But they will die after 65 years, 80 years, and before 70 years. How could the Chinese government say 77 years is the average age? No, that's a lying. They lying every day.
That is a good
That have
time.
that similar regime.
77 years.
Only China, North Korea, Cuba, Vietnam.
Cuba as well.
Cuba is communist regime.
I know, but I thought there was something like that.
Probably.
They are resisting the westernized government.
Yeah. North Korea is more terrible.
No, but
Vietnam is similar. Similar.
Yeah, like
Same.
So that was the worst one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
everyone
North Korea
has
is dreadful.
to be really
And it's
North
the
Korea.
Chinese government that are keeping
hard to
propped
know
up.
that.
They're
You
keeping
can't
North
blame me
Korea.
if
Yes, because it's a
People
puppy.
to come in.
investigation
Yeah, the
into
North Korea is the puppy authority of the Communist Party. You know, North Korea is dependent country of the Communist Party. Chinese Communist Party, Chinese Communist China. You know, in the 1950 to 1953, there's Korea Wars. So
nothing.
North Korea survived because of backed by the Communist China.
Then
So after that, North Korea economy is totally dependent on China. China send the oil, send the food, send the living stuff to the North Korea. If they do not deliver anything, North Korea regime will collapse one day. Yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah, yes.
then just China taking over everything. Slightly better. but not really.
They need North Korea as a soldier. They need North Korea as a soldier. They're fighting with South Korea. South Korea under control of the United States. North Korea is under control of the China. So they fight each other. Yeah, sorry. I have a break. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Your channel is on this one. I can watch it.
Yes, this is a website. That's website.
Very good.
Yeah, that's my website.
We're going to do that. We're gonna
Yeah.
watch- How long,
I want to watch what you were saying before as well.
how long have you been coming here doing this?
1.5 years already.